Welcome back to Digimon Story Lost Evolution. Previously, I took care of some bad troubles in Logan Mountain, then cleared some quests to give time to my Digimon allies so they can fully research and install the black box onto the DigiShip. The moment it became operational, Hiroyuki fled. While the ship returned, I can't use it to reach Southbridge. Therefore, I must first find a footpath to it. So, let's get to it. I go to Logan Mountain to meet with WarGrowlmon. He knows of a hole in Chip Forest that might lead to Southbridge. As I look around the forest's second area, I notice that the north path has been unlocked. So I cross to the next area, open a chest that contains a medicine, and dig down to a new section of North Cave. While it has most of the same encounters as the other section, Greymon are also included this time around. I already have one of my own, so I don't necessarily need their scan data. They mostly exist for their Metal Greymon plate drop. I go southwest, then southeast, finding the exit to a new area, Pallet Amazon. I can barely walk a few steps before I'm interrupted by a couple of Quagamon. They're here by orders of a tamer that's apparently my ally. They refuse to say who that is though, so this ends up resulting in a fight. They easily fall to fire. This whole thing turns into a mess though, as they call me traitor and take Asuka with them. I go collect the chest that has a pallet key, then unlock the Digiport. Wait, what about the wild encounters here? WarGrowlmon has Melt, which doesn't feel like much of an advantage considering I got Agumon for free. Ikakumon is a diver that has an Ancient Warrior as a possible final form. Gatomon, funnily enough, has an armored evolution that doesn't skip any generational levels. Seadramon is another diver. Unlike Ebidramon, his whole line requires plate drops to reach the final stage. Sunflowmon will have an easy path with just one plate drop. Sealamon would have had an easy path to Mega if Pukumon didn't require extra ability. Starting from Poyomon is better perhaps. XVmon drops one half of the Paldramon plate, one of the many examples of Digimon that required two separate plates for revival. Octomon is another diver, obviously, one that ends in an Olympus 12. Finally, Scorpiomon evolves from Sealamon, meaning he will also have difficulty reaching Mega as a fresh Digiconvert. Since the swampy ground splits me from Asuka, I have to take the south path to the second area. Then I take the west path, followed by southeast, then northeast, which is behind a clump of trees. At the end of this path is a chest that has 5000 bits. I return all the way to the second area. This time I open the chest by the east path, which contains 3 awakenings. Then go to the third area, fourth, go north to the fifth, to open a chest that has 3 EXP 500s. I go northeast again, then south, behind another clump of trees to open a chest that contains a full restore. I go back to the previous area, then northwest, finally catching up with Asuka. The Quagamon still insist they're not enemies, but they're a bit rough in their explanation. A WarGrowlmon shows up to help defuse the situation, asking if I'm friend or foe. Unfortunately, this is just an illusion of choice, so I have to pick foe, which results in a fight with a free red Digimon. It's not that much harder than before. Water damage helps with WarGrowlmon. Their defeat, however, doesn't delay their plans, and they leave with Asuka. I go southeast, then further east, finding another human, the tamer Kizuna. She believes I'm with the selectors, so she sends her Gawapamon, Lilamon, and Lynxmon against me. They go down one by one, proving her that I'm a true tamer. Turns out she already met Hiroyuki. The next area over is Tamer Town. Once a bustling town, Kizuna is now the sole tamer that lives here. After multiple attacks by the selectors, the Octomon here accept spare plates. Repairing multiples of the same plate results in spares. 5 plates gives me a Medicine Omega, while 20 gives me a Rice Cake Ring, which boosts the XP and money drops. Next target is 40. I then finally meet with Hiroyuki. He apparently was chased by a red Digimon, possibly the same WarGrowlmon that took Asuka. According to Hiroyuki, a small tamer was seen at Limit Valley. He wants to go there to see if it's Yui. I received the address to this town as well, finalizing the link between it and the Digibase. This town features Wi-Fi facilities, the first farm shop, which is manned by a Toy Agumon, a Panamon shop, as well as a tool shop headed by Andromon. I buy a Gigapick from him, which can help break larger clumps of bristlebugs. I make some purchases, including the very expensive attack rings that provide both defensive and offensive benefits. In order to reach Limit Valley, I must first go through Resistor Jungle, which is to the other side of this town. New Digimon found in this jungle include Coronamon, who is the other half of the Kudamon tree. It features Melt. Quagamon features Cut in his line. Gargomon has Dig. but he has difficulties reaching Pandamon as a fresh convert. Woodmon is a source of bulldoze, if only the Puppetmon plate was easy to repair. Dokugumon features an easy path to Brasimon, who is a default plate Mega. Stingmon features the other half of the Powderamon plate. Ogremon is another bulldozer. He will take a while to have an usable Mega. Leomon can also use bulldoze. On a first evolutionary run, he will only have one realistic Mega option. Lilymon needs to work to reach the Mega stage, as she technically doesn't have a Mega of her own, but once her plate is recovered, Mega is an easy unlock. Mega Kabuterimon has only one realistic choice of Mega, although as far as Ancient Warriors go, Ancient Beetlemon is one of the few available before the post-game, though that requires the use of the Expedition mechanic. The moment I go from the first area to the second, I receive a call from Terriermon. There's a terrifying Digimon that's pursuing Asuka, beating up Red Digimon in his path. I need to find her fast. I climb down the vines, then go west for the chest that has a registered card, cut some trees to head out further west. The pensive chest here features a boss fight, so I'll leave it for later. There's a regular chest here as well. It has an EXP 2000. I go back one area, then go east, finding a chest that contains free confusion heals, climb up the vines to go to the next area, which is where I find a chest at the top of the plateau that has a registered key. I take the top path east here to open up the gate. To cross the gate itself, I have to take the bottom path instead. After walking through a long path and climbing a plateau, I find a rushing Digimon. It's the Digimon that's looking for Asuka, Venom Myotismon. After hearing him, we realize that he's a Devimon from before. Hiroyuki strikes his nerve a bit, so he faces me alongside a Scorpiomon. The attack rings have greatly boosted my damage, so they're mincemeat. After all that, he starts complaining that I couldn't protect Asuka, and then storms out. Taking the east path here leads to me opening the Digiport. If I take the west path, I find a new area, Limit Valley. New wild Digimon available here include Gilmon. He has pretty much been discussed already as a Digivolution for Gigimon. Techmon can cut and has a relatively easy time reaching Mega. Raptordermon's line has no field skills. They also dropped the WarGrowlmon plate, despite not being his corresponding evolution. Fine by me though. Buraimon can also cut and has two choices of Mega, although I have to say making a bird evolve into an egg is quite fiendish. Vidramon has Bulldoze and two Royal Knights as final choices, though Ulforce Vidramon is hidden behind a password. Angemon has a multitude of choices along his line. 3 direct Megas plus 2 warps. As far as Kudamon evolutions go, Airdramon won't be capable of reaching Mega on first evolution run. Repamon will have a much easier time. Pandamon cannot reach Mega at first. I suppose they didn't want to make Digimon that easy a connection between lines. I climb down the ladder to open a chest containing a limit card, then climb back to take the lower path east to open a gate. I then take the upper path. After crossing the gate, I open a chest with 5 ethers. I then climb up to go west. Seeing a boss fight incoming, I take time for some Digivolutions. Rex becomes Metal Greymon, Wolf becomes WarGrowlmon, Kage becomes Crowmon, and Fang becomes WarGrowlmon. I then climb up the ladder to witness a group of erasers confronting Uno due to the numbers' various transgressions. After some discussion, the strange serpentine monster alongside Uno simply destroys the erasers. Hiroyuki confronts Uno in regards to our friends' location, but he's got no patience, sending a Bottomon alongside the monsters EX Eraser Gamma. Now that I have better wide moves, I can inflict damage faster against large targets, so these boss fights are getting a bit easier. We ask him again in regards to the rumors of the small tamer, though Uno reveals that since they're fighting the selectors, the tamer of the rumors could likely be Tres. He leaves after some cryptic messages. I can advance further into the valley, which has 2 new wild encounters. Although Dino Beamon doesn't evolve from XVmon in this game, he drops his Digimon plate into 2 separate halves, much like other Digimon based on DNA Digivolutions. Metal Greymon also features a bit of a break in the chain of plate drops, as he doesn't drop the plate of his evolution, unlike previous stages. The chest here contains a limit key. As I move forward, I meet WarGrowlmon again. Turns out he's the one who chased Hiroyuki, so I find him again. He's easily dispatched, so he leaves for his tamer. I unlock the Digiport, then go through the west path, which leads east, opening a chest that has 1200 bits. I go to Aquamon in Tamer Town to deliver plates. Since I've hit 40, I receive an Assassin Knife. Then I make my way to the boss chest of Register Jungle, Digivolving beforehand, so Aqua becomes Mega Sidramon and Rocky becomes Grapleomon. The chest is guarded by a Powderamon, Shakomon, and Sylphimon. Sylphimon falls easily to fire, while Lightning is strong against the other 2. The reward is a rapid fireball. I then take on the quest, defeat the one blocking Login Mountain. From my Tokomon, there's an Aquamon rampaging in Login Mountain. I must stop him. After reaching the third area, I go northeast, running Aquamon to the very top of the plateau. Fire damage made short work of him. So Aquamon seems to return to his senses. I report to Tokamon, receiving 2 medicines and 2 Ethers Alpha as part of the reward. I then go for rival or friend from a WarGrowlmon. His rival is an Aquilomon in Login Mountain, and he wants to measure his strength. I find Aquilomon on the plateau of the third area. He's so fast he gets 2 actions in his first turn. This kind of mechanic is dependent on the speed stat, although reaching the maximum of 4 moves will require the use of speed boosting moves. After winning, Aquilomon gives me a friendship medal to be given to WarGrowlmon. After I do so, I receive a Veteran Dagger and Veteran Guard as part of the reward. The path treaded has been tough. After walking all the way to South Bridge, which landed me in Pallet Amazon, I met a group of red Digimon led by a WarGrowlmon that took Asuka away. I then found Tamer Town, though only Gizmo was left as a tamer. It was in this town that I met Hiroyuki, who's safe and sound. The 2 of us together went to Register Jungle, where we were confronted by the Devimon turned Venom Myotismon for my failures. Past the jungle was Limit Valley, where I saw Uno of the bandits, who warned me of the possible fate of my friends. I have yet to reach Palace Laboratory, a place where Tamers and Digimon seemingly vanish. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time, as I finally push towards the laboratory.